What is up, guys? Sam Dog, the infamous 253, coming at you guys with Dallas Stewart on the speakerphone. Dallas, how you doing?
Doing good. Thanks for coming.
Yep, and last week in the game picks for week 6, because we had a split, I went, unfortunately, sub 500, 6-8, and Dallas went 7-7. He broke even, 500, and now we are on to the week 7 picks of the 2022 NFL season. But obviously, first thing as we go usual, we're going to go start out with our game coming up in LA this coming week. We got the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Los Angeles Chargers in SoFi Stadium. Seahawks coming off of that win, that 19-9 win over the Arizona Cardinals. Dallas, you and me were there with Adam Axelson. That was a fun day and definitely was awesome seeing the way our defense play their best game of the year so far. Dallas?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm still here, Dallas.
It was nice to see the defense be first pitch.
Yeah, it was a great game for us. And meanwhile, last night the Los Angeles Chargers Monday Night Football they were down for a little bit, got back into it. Dustin Hopkins kicking hurt, but still managed to pull it off in overtime. Back-to-back games, the Broncos have been in overtime, and the LA Chargers managed to pull it out in overtime. Hopkins playing hurt and managed to get it out there for the win, for the Chargers to get the win over the Denver Broncos. So once again, granted, they're playing us, but still, last night, thank you, Los Angeles Chargers. Yep. Got these Dallas.
Yep, thank you, Los Angeles.
Yep, thank you, LA Chargers. I mean, granted, but this week, though, it's going to be tougher for us because we know the Chargers are getting Keenan Allen back, and we're playing a much more tougher defense. I know we gave up 5 sacks to Arizona, but this Chargers defense is way dangerous with Khalil Mack and Sebastian Joseph Day. Granted, they still don't have Joey Bosa, and they got Derwin James and Asante Samuel Jr. and J.C. Jackson in that secondary, so that's going to be pretty tough. Unfortunately, though, I gotta go with and I hope I'm wrong, knock on wood, but I gotta pick the Chargers, unfortunately, on this one. So give me the LA Chargers to hand us a loss after our big win that we had last week over Arizona. Unfortunately, I gotta take the Chargers.
Yeah, take the Chargers as well. I think it's going to be a tall task for us, and our defense is going to be definitely tested this week. But Chargers are getting on a roll now.
Yeah, and Justin Herbert.
Jive.
Yeah, and Justin Herbert's a good quarterback too, but also they got that defense too. Granted, they are missing Joey Bosa, but they were able to get after Russell Wilson last night, and it was a hell of a way that they got after him. All right, and now we go back to the beginning. We got first off, Thursday Night Football. We got hopefully a better matchup this time around. We got the New Orleans Saints going to Arizona, taking on the Arizona Cardinals, who we just beat on Sunday, 19-9. Sacked Kyler Murray's overrated midget ass 6 times, and then after that, Cardinals making a desperation trade after losing Hollywood Brown for the year, making a trade for Robbie Anderson. The question is, will he play this Thursday night? We know they're getting DeAndre Hopkins back, and is Matt Prater still out?
I have not heard about the status of him yet.
Yeah, but still, I'll tell you what, though, not trusting their backup kicker, that ultimately came back to bite the Cardinals in the butt hard. We were saying it during the game. We were there. I had a feeling, when we were stopping them on those 4th downs, granted, I know we picked them against us last week, but I will say this, when we were stopping on those 4th downs, I was like, we might win this ball game. I was like, I have a feeling if we keep this up on them, we might win this ball game. Granted, the only good play they had was a block punt where they blocked Dixon and scored a touchdown off of it. Meanwhile, the New Orleans Saints, Joe Burrow returned to the New Orleans Superdome where he and LSU won that national championship. He and Jamar Chase with the Bengals returned, taking on the Saints. And the Saints, they were in it for a little while, but in the end, it was Joe Burrow hitting Jamar Chase for that big game-winning touchdown, and Bengals ended up taking it. And this game around, though, I know CG was thinking, is Robbie Anderson going to play this week since the Cardinals did just make that trade for him? This will be an interesting game. I know, it's Andy Dalton still going to be playing for them?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, this is a tricky game. Both teams are desperate for a win, both sitting at 2-4.
Yeah, big time. CG picked the Saints in this game. I was just checking out CG's game picks, and I caught a glimpse of the first game that he was of the Saints Cardinals. I saw CG pick the Saints. But what he was saying on this one, Alvin Kamara. The Cardinals have been struggling against the run. We know Alvin Kamara and Taysom Hill can run it hard on them too.
Yeah.
But we know the Cardinals got DeAndre Hopkins back, and we know the Saints have an okay secondary. So.
Their defense has been very suspect this year, the Saints.
Yeah, and the Cardinals' defense has been suspect as well.
Yeah.
Granted, they did get 5 sacks on us, but they really struggled with Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, they did.
Yep, Kenneth Walker scored our only touchdown of that game, and, man, I don't know, man. I'm gonna probably take the Cardinals because they're getting DeAndre Hopkins back, give them that, but we don't know the status of Matt Prater, but. This should at least make a better Thursday night games than what we got in the last couple of weeks. But I'm going to go ahead and take the Cardinals to beat the Saints and get back on track after what we did to them yesterday. I got to go Arizona in this one.
Yeah, this is a really tough one. I'll probably go with Arizona because the Saints defense has been so disappointing this year. I just don't trust their defense.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to have one of the better defenses in the league. Yeah, I got to go with Arizona to put New Orleans at a disappointing 2-5.
Yeah. All right. Up next, we got the Cleveland Browns going to Baltimore to take on the Baltimore Ravens. The Cleveland Browns, were they on? No, wait. The Browns, obviously, the Bailey Zappi took a freaking dump on them. Bailey Zappi and the Patriots just took a massive dump on Cleveland. While we were noticing on the scoreboard during the game, we were like, "Do we put that?" If we had the check mark, I know you would have been saying.
Put it in pretty early.
Yeah, but we were at the Seahawks game, so yeah. And meanwhile, the Baltimore Ravens, man, I cannot believe they lost to the Giants. The New York Giants are 5-1. The Giants are putting something big together, and Saquon Barkley is running pretty good for them. But Baltimore Ravens. Breaking news today, they actually just signed Deshaun Jackson.
Wow, to join the receiver, wow.
Yeah, the Ravens.
Was he out of the league?
I remember he was with the Raiders last time I checked, and he was with the Rams a little bit of last year. He should have just stayed with the Rams. He could have gotten a Super Bowl reign. But, yeah, I'm going to take the Ravens, though, to bounce back against the Browns. I'm taking Baltimore.
Yeah, I'm going to take Baltimore. That was another fourth quarter lead. They've blown like 3 games this year, and Cleveland's just starting to crumble without Deshaun Watson with him being suspended. So I gotta go to Baltimore to bounce back.
Yes, me too. All right, up next we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to Carolina to take on the Carolina Panthers. The Buccaneers, I cannot believe they lost that game to the Steelers. And meanwhile, we knew the Panthers were getting killed by the Los Angeles Rams. They even kicked Robbie Anderson out of the game, and then they kicked his ass to the curb and traded him to Arizona after the game. But, man, Panthers are just an absolute train wreck. This is easy. Give me Tom Brady and Tampa Bay bouncing back. I'm taking the Bucs.
Yeah, give me the Bucs to take their frustration out on the Panthers. God, but the Bucs do not look right this year so far. But the Panthers look like they're in full tank mode, and I think they want that number 1 pick.
Yeah, they're definitely going for the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Ooh, big time. All right, up next, we got the Atlanta Falcons going to Cincinnati to take on Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. As we mentioned, the Bengals got that crazy win against the New Orleans Saints. It was close for a while, and then Burrow hit Chase for that game-winning touchdown. Meanwhile, Marcus Mariota and the Atlanta Falcons ran wild on the San Francisco 49ers at home. That one, to me, I was shocked at that one.
Yeah, that was a little bit surprising after San Francisco had 2 pretty convincing wins in a row.
To get crapped on by Marcus Mariota, it was insane.
Yeah.
And then the freaking turnovers they got, and just San Francisco did not look right against the Falcons. And Atlanta's had Kyle Shanahan's number ever since Shanahan left for San Francisco after blowing the 28-3 lead in Super Bowl 51.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I got to go ahead and I think the Falcons are going to have a little bit of an emotional letdown after that one. So I'm going to take the Bengals to get another win at home against Atlanta. I'm taking the Bengals.
Yeah, give me the Bengals to get back-to-back wins. I think they're going to get on a little bit of a roll here.
Yeah.
And look like the team they did at the end of last year.
Yeah, big time. Whew. All right, up next we got the Detroit Lions taking on the Dallas Cowboys. Lions are coming off of their bye week after getting absolutely smoked by Bailey Zappi and the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, the Cowboys got down pretty early to Philadelphia, almost came back, but then Cooper Rush threw that costly interception, and Philly ended up running away with that one. Our split of last week. At least they made it an interesting game. But let's be real, the Lions are atrocious, and I got the Dallas Cowboys bouncing back and taking their frustrations out on them. So no mercy on the Lions. Give me the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, give me the Cowboys big. The Lions are still bad. I think the Seahawks kind of broke them during that shootout win. We had that shootout win with them in week 4.
Yep. That's, as we've been saying, we broke the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
And question is, how much worse did we break the Arizona Cardinals with that 19-9 win? We'll find out. We'll see Thursday. Maybe they gave up another big running game to Taysom Hill, just like we ended up giving up to them. Or, it'll be interesting. I know we picked Arizona. See how they do with DeAndre Hopkins back. Both those teams are desperate. But, yeah, in this game, we got Dallas Cowboys. And up next, we got the New York Giants taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars down in Duval. The Jaguars, were up a little bit on Indy, and then Indianapolis just got really pissed off and took it out on them for getting shut out and got a little revenge for the shutout. And meanwhile, the New York Giants at home, man, they freaking took it. I mean, they were down for a little while, and then they had Lamar Jackson had that bad snap. They got after him, and Lamar threw an interception on the same play. And Saquon Barkley, man, he's running wild. But the Giants defense with Kayvon Thibodeau and Dexter Lawrence and the Giants defense, man, the Giants are the surprise team, and you can definitely put one of their coach up along with probably Robert Saleh with the Jets. It's either Dabble, Saleh. Who else could be in the running for Coach of the Year?
Those are the only ones I can see right now on my list.
Yeah, I'm really been impressed with the way the Giants have been playing. They're 5-1, man. I'm gonna actually
maybe Kevin O'Connell because
Minnesota
is 5-1 with a first-year head coach. Granted, they've been winning ugly, but they have a pretty comfortable lead in the NFC North.
Yeah. But man, I'll tell you what, Entertainer talking sports, like you were saying back in Seattle, back on Sunday, Entertainer has to be ecstatic with the way the Giants have been playing. And I gotta say, I've been impressed with the way Daniel Jones has been playing. I've been impressed with the way Saquon Barkley's playing, and just the way that the Giants defense is winning games for them. They've been pretty good, And you know what? I'm gonna take it to continue. Give me the Giants. Give me the New York Giants to make it 6-1. Over the
Give me the Giants to keep it rolling. I'm starting to lose confidence in Jacksonville after they had those 2 blowout wins against Indianapolis and the Chargers. They're starting to look like the Jaguars of the past.
Yep, that they are. But man, New York, man, Giants have been impressed. The New York Giants have been impressive.
Yeah.
All right, up next, we got the Green Bay Packers taking on the Washington Commanders. The Packers, surprise, man, got smoked at home in Lambeau Field by the New York Jets. That was another one of the shockers. A lot of shockers in Week 6, and that Jets-Packers game shocked me more than Atlanta killing San Francisco.
Yeah, it did. That was a surprise.
And then, meanwhile, the Washington Commanders... Are the Commanders coming off of a bye week?
Who did they play last week? Oh, they won the dumpster
Oh
bowl.
yeah, that's right. They won the dumpster bowl. Shit, why do I keep thinking they were on
they won the Thursday night dumpster bowl.
Oh yeah, that's right. Carson Wentz.
12-7.
The 12-7 shit.
I think Brian Robinson Jr. or something like that scored the game-winning touchdown.
Yeah. Another absolute shit fest of a Thursday night game where the Commanders beat the Chicago Bears. They're at home at FedEx. And the Packers are going to be coming into that game really pissed about the way they laid that egg against the Jets. So I'm taking Green Bay to go to Washington and take that out on the Commanders. I'm taking the Packers.
Yeah, give me the Packers to bounce back, as now Washington will be with Taylor Heineke, it looks like, for like 4 weeks because Carson Wentz is out. Yeah, Washington still needs a quarterback. That's evident.
Could there be something in those green bottles, as Chris Berman said?
I doubt it.
I doubt it too.
Aaron Rodgers is going to be absolutely pissed. The Packers don't look right.
Looks
right
like
now.
Heineke's gonna get buried by the green bottles of the jerk because they're taking on the Packers and obviously a lot of green on that team. So he may even be getting buried by green bottles with that defense.
Yeah.
Whew. But man, Packers are disappointing. They're nothing
there's
without
something off with them right now.
They're nothing without Devontae Adams.
No.
Yeah. Up next, we got the Indianapolis Colts going to Tennessee to take on the Titans. The Colts got revenge for being shut out by Jacksonville. Meanwhile, the Tennessee Titans, last were the Titans on
They
it?
were on a bye, I believe.
But before that, they freaking barely.
They had a squeaker. They had a struggle win against Washington.
That's right, they did. Now they're fresh, well rested, and I got Tennessee coming out and completing this. Did they play the Colts yet this year?
Yeah, I think they played them in like week 3.
All right.
Or week 4, I think it was.
All right, pull the brooms out. Titans are sweeping the Colts. Give me the Titans.
Yeah, give me the Titans to sweep the Colts and move into first place in the AFC South.
Yeah. Whew. All right. Up next, we got another battle of 2 one-win teams. Granted, one of them has a tie, but who's really worse? We got the Houston Texans taking on the Las Vegas Raiders in Allegiant Stadium this Sunday. Meanwhile, the Houston Texans
I think both these teams are on a bye.
Yeah, but the Texans got their first win against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, that 13-6 game.
And meanwhile, the Las Vegas Raiders last week, the Monday
night game.
Yeah, the Monday night game. Coming off of that Monday night game, just losing that 1-point game to the Kansas City Chiefs. It was a good game, man. A lot of crazy calls in that game, but in the end, the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes did Patrick Mahomes thing, and the Chiefs ended up pulling it out by 1 point. But who's worse? Let's be real, man.
It's the Texans.
I'm taking. It's obviously the Texans. The Texans are just an absolute train wreck. I'm taking the Las Vegas Raiders at home. Give me the Raiders.
Yeah, give me the Raiders. It's starting to get late for the Raiders. They need to really start getting it together. In my opinion, I think they're the most disappointing team. They had pretty high expectations going into the year.
Yeah.
And they have not lived up to it so far.
No, they have not. But at least they did us a favor and beat Denver, though.
Yeah.
All right, up next, we got the New York Jets going to Denver to take on Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos, who were up for a little bit, but they cannot seem to get past 16 points. That's the most points they've ever scored so far on this season in any of their games.
I think it was 23 against.
Yeah, they scored 23 against the Texans, but I'm talking about in the prime time.
I think it was against the Raiders, the game they lost.
Yeah, but in prime time, they can't seem to get above 16 points, though, in prime time.
Oh, yeah, in prime time. I guess you're right.
Yeah, just in prime time. That's my mistake on that. In prime time, they can't seem to get above 16. Meanwhile, the New York Jets going to Lambeau Field, block a field goal, block a punt, take it for a touchdown. Breece Hall ran wild, and Robert Saleh, Zach Wilson, I've given Zach Wilson a lot of crap, but the Jets could still implode at any moment for all we know, too, because they are one of the most snake-bitten franchises. But, I like the way that they've been playing lately. And Zach Wilson, he might be starting to prove some doubters wrong,
Yeah, he might be.
Yeah, he's looking pretty good. And you know what? Give me the Jets to go in there. Life is going to continue to be a living hell for the Broncos and their fan base. I'm taking the New York Jets.
Yeah, surprisingly, I'm going to take the Jets to get to 5-2. Denver's just so off right now. At least their offense is.
Yeah.
Their defense is playing lights out.
Yeah, their defense
is starting to get into desperation time for Denver. The hole's going to get too deep pretty soon for them to dig out of if they don't really start to turn it around.
Hey, I'm loving that they're suffering like that, too. It just shows, and Brendan Nelson did a video earlier. Seahawks Brendan Nelson, shout out to him on getting his 10,000 subscribers. But hey, you know something? He's right. We should be celebrating this way. That I think we may have won one of the biggest trades in NFL history. I think we Herschel Walker the Broncos, and you know what? I'm happy that what's happening to them. I hope it continues because that's going to be a damn good draft pick for us when the 23 draft comes. Yeah, I'm loving every minute of it.
Me too.
Yeah, biggest L we've had in Denver since this. All right. Up next, we got the Super Bowl 54 rematch. We got the Kansas City Chiefs going to Santa Clara, taking on the San Francisco 49ers in Levi Stadium. The Chiefs obviously lost to the Buffalo Bills, and that game was a battle as we expected it. Not the high-scoring battle that we thought it was going to be, but it was still a battle. And Mahomes threw that interception at the end, and the Buffalo Bills squeaked it out 24-20. The Bills are on their bye week this week. And meanwhile, San Francisco went to Atlanta to take on the Falcons, and they laid an absolute egg, like we said earlier. Mariota ran all over them, and man, it was just, I think that to me was a shocker. I'll have to watch the highlights of that game when I get a chance to. But man, it was just, I mean, watching primetime with my dad, we were just shocked to see the way that San Francisco laid that egg. But you know something? Chiefs are going to be more pissed about losing to Buffalo the way they did, and I still think the Chiefs are a better team. And I got to go Kansas City to take the Super Bowl 54 rematch again against the 49ers, making Patrick Mahomes 3-0 all-time against the 49ers. I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, give me Kansas City to bounce back from that tough loss against Buffalo and get to 5-2.
Yep. All right, Sunday night game. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers going to Miami to take on the Miami Dolphins. Pittsburgh, man, pulling out that crazy win against Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, though Kenny Pickett got knocked out of the game with a concussion, and Mitchell Trubisky came out and finished it. Granted, they still don't have T.J. Watt in that defense, but the way they were able to beat Tom Brady definitely I think that was the upset of the week in Week 6. That was the upset of Week 6, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was.
And meanwhile, the Miami Dolphins, man, got wrecked by the Minnesota Vikings. They are obviously missing Tua, their other quarterback. The third-string guy got knocked out, but it put Teddy Bridgewater in. They were competing for a little bit, but then obviously the turnovers came in, and Justin Jefferson happened once again, and Minnesota just keeps on rolling and our first 2 games ahead in first place in the NFC North with a surprise. But, whew, man, Dolphins right now, they need help, man. They are really missing Tua. And I don't know, is Tua supposed to be back this week? I know he cleared concussion.
I think he might be back this week.
Shit, man, this is a tough one. This is going to be a... What do you think?
I think Miami, if they have Tua.
Yeah, if they have Tua.
Yeah, if they have Tua, I'm going with Miami.
Yeah, I'm going to go
Miami.
Yeah, I'm going to go Miami too if they have Tua back, but you know, it's like this game, we'll see what happens. I don't know. I mean, we all know TJ Watt's out for a long time too, but if Tua's back, I like Miami's chances, and I think Tua might be back this week, so I'm going to go Dolphins in this one.
Yeah, give me the Dolphins.
And last but not least, Monday Night Football, we got the Chicago Bears taking on the New England Patriots, still in Zappy Hour, and Zappy Hour is zapping in the wins like he did against the Lions, and he just did it killing the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, the Chicago Bears, an absolute train wreck, played in the dumpster bowl, lost to another crappy team in the Washington Commanders, lost to Carson Wentz, and the misery is just going to continue for the Bears. I'm taking the Patriots.
Yeah, give me the Patriots to get 3 in a row and get above 500. The Bears are awful.
Yep, and there you have it for our Week 7 picks. We got the Chargers over the Seahawks, knock on wood, hope we're wrong again. We got the Cardinals over the Saints, the Ravens over the Browns, the Buccaneers over the Panthers, the Bengals over the Falcons, the Cowboys over the Lions, the Giants over the Jaguars, the Packers over the Commanders, Titans over Colts, Raiders over Texans, Jets over Broncos, Chiefs over Niners, Dolphins over Steelers, and Patriots over Bears. And let's see how much better that we can do this week. Granted, you did better than me last week. Hopefully, I can do better this week with these picks. No split this time around. Let's see how good we do. And let's keep it rolling. Drop your picks in the comments down below. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notification, and we'll catch you later in the post game this week. If you ain't with it, you ain't infamous. And as always, go Seahawks.